Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Saco School Committee, Saco School Board meeting for Wednesday, May 22nd, 2024. Let the meeting reflect, starting at 5:03. We do have all school board members present, with the exception of School Board Member Roach and School Board Member Gale, who is stuck in traffic and on his way. So he may be showing up in a few moments. Would you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. And now that takes us to item number 3, and that is the retirement acknowledgement. Superintendent Ray?
All right, well, good evening, everybody, and thank you for coming out on the best night of the entire spring. It always happens this way, when you do something. Our luck is at least it didn't rain it did rain last night, in some places, but we want to take this opportunity to recognize 4 retirees with us tonight. And as a district, we're going to ask for your building principal to please come forward. We're going to have a few words, and the school department will recognize you for all of the wonderful years of service that you have given to our children, our community, to the staff, all of those pieces. After we present you with the gift, Jen Partridge is going to meet you outside to fill out your sub-application forms. So we want one-stop shopping because I know Marco's ready to come back, and I tried to work on you a little bit, Nancy, over there, but hopefully we'll get there. But to start off with, I would like to ask Principal Susie to please come forward so we can honor our first retiree.
Thank you for having me. Congratulations to all the retirees tonight. It's an honor to speak tonight as we celebrate the retirement of our beloved social studies teacher, Dennis Driscoll. Although teaching was a second career for Mr. Driscoll, one in which he served Saco Middle School for 21 years, it's evident that he's a natural and was meant to be in the classroom. Dennis has a deep passion for social studies, and his stories make history come alive for his students. His lessons are engaging and draw them into the subject matter at hand. What truly sets Dennis apart, however, is his ability to connect with all students in a genuine way. He is approachable and supportive, offering guidance and encouragement beyond the classroom, and students feel valued and understood by him. Dennis is thoughtful and generous to students and colleagues alike. He often gives up his time and his own money to treat his students to pizza or ice cream during lunches and brings in treats for his colleagues. Outside of the classroom, Dennis can be found attending students' performances and sporting events where he is an enthusiastic supporter of all students, not just the ones in his classroom. Just yesterday, we found him after school with a colleague having cake that he brought in for a student in need of some support. On behalf of all those whose lives you have enriched, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to your years of service, dedication, and passion. May your retirement be filled with as much joy as you've brought Saco Middle School all these years. And though you may be stepping away from the classroom, your impact will endure for years to come. Congratulations, Dennis.
Thank you for having me tonight. I get to recognize 3 amazing educators who dedication and passion have really profoundly impacted C.K. Burns. So I'm going to start with Michelle Brown. For 21 or 22 or 23, depending on who you ask, Michelle has been a joyful, inspiring educational technician. When I think of Michelle, I first think of her laugh. Not a morning goes by without her greeting me personally each and every day and checking in with me, and we always end our conversations with something that she has that makes us both laugh. The staff at CK Burns will always think of her and remember her humor, and they will remember her strength in fostering relationships, not only with students, but with her colleagues. Michelle demonstrates patience, creativity, and tireless effort to help countless students overcome challenges and achieve their fullest potential. Michelle has not only been an educator, but a mentor and a friend to everyone that she works with. As Michelle embarks on a well-deserved retirement, we reflect on the many lives she's touched and the mark that she'll leave at CK Burns. Her legacy of compassion and excellence in education will continue to inspire many to come. Thank you, Michelle, for 21, 22, and 23 years of unparalleled service. You've earned a wonderful retirement. Next up, I want to recognize Nancy Sullivan, and these two come as a pair, so I'm not surprised that they're leaving as a pair. Nancy has been a cornerstone of support and commitment within our school community. Her passion for working with students with disabilities and inspiring them to work hard and be successful. She has impacted lives with nurturing and concern for children's well-being. She cares deeply about the students she works with, and she comes to work with a smile on her face each and every day. She is probably the most dedicated, and she, I think, I don't know if she's ever missed a day of work. She comes to school all the time. So I wish there were more like you. It was great. So she's dedicated, and it doesn't go unnoticed by everyone. I want to thank Nancy for 19 years. See, HR doesn't quite have it down yet, 19 or 20. I think a lot of our ed tech staff also started out as substitutes, so they worked their way into the district through subbing. And I just want to say thank you so much. You are going to be truly missed, and enjoy your retirement. I'm not even going to try to guess how many years Marco has, because he's been in many different places, but Marco Lamoth, after a career dedicated to the growth and development of countless young minds, Mr. Lamoth, our beloved fourth grade teacher, is retiring. His innovative approach to education and his deep personal connections with his students have left an indelible mark on our school community. Mr. Lamoth's journey in education has been characterized by his unwavering commitment to making learning an exciting and personal experience for each of his students. His classrooms have always been a place where creativity thrives and lessons are brought to life through imaginative methods. He consistently seeks out ways to bring on hands-on learning and personal experiences in his classroom. From researching ways to raise salmon in the classroom and following all the way through with the personal release of them, to walking trips around the town of Saco, he was passionate about connecting the curriculum to the town that the students live in. Beyond his creative teaching techniques, Mr. Lamoth is known for his genuine care and personal investment in his students' lives. He takes the time to understand each of their strengths, their challenges, their interests, and he fosters an environment of trust and encouragement. You can often hear students inviting Mr. Lamoth to their birthday parties, thanking him for attending one of their after-school games or plays, or talking about the fishing trips that he planned with all his students during the summer months. Marco, thank you for all you have done for the students of Saco. Enjoy your retirement, and I look forward to your application for substituting.
I was wondering if we could get all of our retirees and the principals to come forward so we can get a photo.
You guys want to jump in? Huh? They seem very, very quiet. And on behalf of the city of the Saco, thank you as well for all of you for your dedicated work. Okay, and with that, it was requested that we do take a very short recess. So we will take a quick recess so that we can say goodbye to our retirees as they head out, and we will be back in just a few moments. Oh, there you are. Okay, and welcome back, everybody, and thank you. Okay, so that does take us now to item 4, and that is the approval of the school board meeting minutes dated May 8th, 2024. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move we approve the school board meeting minutes dated May 8th, 2024.
Second.
Motion has been made by School Board Member Truman, second by School Board Member Preble. Any discussion on the minutes? Okay, not seeing any. That roll call vote. School Board Member Archie?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Abstain.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0 and 1 abstention. Okay, that takes us to item 5, and there are no adjustments to the agenda. Item 6, there are no correspondence. Item 7 is the public session. If there are any members wishing to speak, please step to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and you will have 3 minutes. Okay, not seeing anyone seeking recognition. Takes us to item 8 this evening, and that is the superintendent's report. Superintendent Ray?
All right, well, good evening, everybody. So at this time, normally I go through a whole list of things during superintendent's report, but I would like to use my time tonight to honor one of our very own teachers from CK Burns, Danielle Pelletier, who, I don't know, we were probably like 3 weeks ago when we really kind of knew, but we weren't allowed to tell everybody that Danielle was selected out of several, I think it was over 30 some odd in York County of nominations for what would be the York County Teacher of the Year. And so I'd like to invite Principal Noble to talk a little bit about Danielle. And as part of this process in recognition tonight, the school committee has some special gifts that we hope you'll wear around because we are so very proud of you. And it's not the 2 schools, 1 plan t-shirt.
Although I bet she'd wear one of those, too.
Right.
Thank you for allowing me to come up and talk a little bit about Danielle. I've been at CK Burns for 3 years, but Danielle was one of the first teachers that I really felt like I got to see her teaching in action. And I think one of the words I think of when I think of Danielle is innovative and approachable, and I believe that's why I got to know her so well in the beginning. She was one of the first colleagues to step up when we were implementing a new math program, and she took that math program on and became a pilot teacher in her grade level. And it's you know, some teachers would say they can teach behind closed doors to kids and be very successful, but it's very hard to teach your colleagues and your friends. Danielle opened her doors to her colleagues and her friends, and monthly would hold meetings after school for colleagues to come in and talk about what they saw when they came in to teach. So she's very brave and innovative, and she is just a wonderful leader in our building. She's consistently inspiring her colleagues. She's kind and patient with students, and I wasn't surprised when I heard that she was nominated. In fact, Danielle was nominated 2 years in a row for York County Teacher of the Year, and yet last year she became a finalist, and through that process was offered the opportunity to apply again this year as a finalist. And we're excited to, you know, recognize her. It was hard to keep that secret for a couple weeks. I think it was hard for her to keep from her colleagues as well. And I was invited up by Danielle to go watch the ceremony up in Augusta, and quickly sent a picture off to her colleagues, and everyone was just thrilled. And I think a lot of the comments were, you know, we're not surprised, well-deserved, just such an inspiration to everyone. One other thing that Danielle has been recognized in my short tenure there is in 2022, she was also recognized with the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math. These are not nominations or awards that all teachers receive. So in my short tenure, I've seen her really just excel and stand out in Maine. We're really, you know, privileged to have her teaching here in Saco. What Danielle doesn't know is that I have a good friend of mine who was on the selection committee, who was also sworn to secrecy, and I happened to run into that administrator over the weekend, and he said, I can't believe I didn't call you, because it was really hard for me to not call you, but I need you to know that Danielle, hands down, blew everyone else out of the water. And, you know, there was no question that she was going to be selected for York County Teacher of the Year. So she has a long tenure of a year of service for the state of Maine, which allows us some privileges here in Saco. But she will be working outside of her classroom to support teachers and all of the community in York. So we look forward to the announcement of the next step in the process. That won't be announced until the fall, but we will support her along her path, and we're just really proud of Danielle. So thank you, Danielle, for all you do.
Congratulations. Okay, that now takes us to item 9, and that is the chair's report. School Board Member Preble?
I have nothing new to report this evening, but thank you.
Item number 10, there are no staff reports this evening. And item 11 is the board subcommittee minutes. Policy and Personnel Committee agenda will be to be determined for the next meeting. The Finance and Infrastructure Committee agenda meeting will be 8/28/24 at 4:30. And the Curriculum Committee agenda, next meeting, will be 6/3/24 at 4:30. There is no old business this evening. And moving on to item 12 for new business. Item A is new hires. There is a memo in your packet. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor, I move we approve the nomination of Catherine Favreau, Fairfield school teacher, and issue a one-year contract for the 2024-25 school year. Elizabeth Mitchell, Fairfield school teacher, and Wendy Free, Saco Middle School art teacher, and issue a contract for the 2024-2025 school year.
Motion has been made by School Board Member Truman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by School Board Member Richards. Any discussion or comments on the item? Okay, not seeing any. Roll call vote. School Board Member Archie?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston?
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Okay, item B, resignations. There is a memo in your packet with resignations, but there is no motion on the item. Taking us now to item C, and that is the dates for the June meeting.
All right, so one of the things that, because of the way the end of the year worked and election and all those things, June 12th turns out to be our 8th grade promotion night, which would be right during the same time as our school committee. And so we looked for another night, and we were hoping that we could get a motion to have June 11th at 7 o'clock be our June meeting, if that worked for everybody. And maybe it'll even be a night where we get to celebrate some good news.
I'll make the motion.
Would anyone like to make a motion to move the date?
I move we reschedule our June 12th school board meeting to June 12th, 2024 at 7 p.m.
June 11th.
June 11th. Oh my goodness, I said the same date twice.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made by School Board Member Truman, second by School Board Member Preble. Any discussion on the item?
You want me to say it louder?
Online they can. It is working in the back. Okay, roll call vote. School Board Member Archie.
Yes.
School Board Member Preble.
Yes.
School Board Member Richards.
Yes.
School Board Member Gale.
Yes.
School Board Member Truman.
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Item number D, that is the budget update and discussion. Vote on the June 11th, 2024, and the April financial statements.
So just to touch on the April financial statements, we didn't have Finance Committee tonight because of our recognition of our retirees. I have reviewed those, and we'll review those at the next meeting. We're in very good shape as we come into the end of the year. Just a reminder to everyone that June 11th is also Budget Validation Day. And in the state of Maine, we're required to have a positive vote from the public on that day. Hopefully, between I think the only two issues on the ballot are school-related issues and budgets and building. So we hope that we will have a positive vote on the budget that day. As you know, we put together a package here that I think was very reasonable based off the economic surrounding towns and communities, and the city as a whole has done a really nice job this year helping to keep the tax rate low. So just a reminder that voting does happen at Thornton Academy, and will be open, I believe, at 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes.
On June 11th. And if people have any questions about that, feel free to reach out, and we'll get those answers back to you.
Thank you. And just a reminder that you can come to City Hall at this time. We are doing in-person voting downstairs. And that is open as well before if you're not able to do June 11th. Okay, and that takes us to item E, and that is the school construction update. Vote on June 11th, 2024, and the new website.
So, as you know, we've been working very hard to make sure that we are able to put out information about the bond question that will be voted on June 11th on the state project and the local project. We have created a website, infoon2.com, and have been working on putting videos, information, handouts, mailers, signs around town where people can go to a website and get any of the meeting minutes, the plan, the financials, the data on the land, correspond with us about any questions that they may have. I know that additionally, people are available to answer any questions because, you know, some of the things that still pop up that people ask about is, so why didn't it just go somewhere in the middle of town? And we understand that that's, if you didn't follow the process along, that's a hard one. And we probably can't say enough times is that there was a requirement on having 20 acres plus 1 acre for every 100 kids. That puts it at 31 acres. There's just not 31 acres everywhere. That's, one, has to be available, and two, has to be for sale. And so those are some things that sometimes people who haven't probably followed along all the time would say, yeah, so why is that? Or why are those pieces? Or how does that handle walkers? And our response would be saying that, you know, there really is more drop-offs than walkers. And, you know, why North Saco? And we think, or on Route 1, availability, size of land, future growth. So we can answer a lot of those questions that people may have. And so we have a website, and if you see any of our signs around town that advertises when the voting is, there's also a QR code on there that will take you right to the website so that people can answer any of those questions. So June 11th will be a big day in Saco.
Well, thank you. And as a reminder, we've got 2 more Tuesdays that I will be here with my open office hours. So again, if anybody has any questions or concerns, please feel free to stop in 4:30 to 7 on Tuesdays.
I also felt today, Jody, just to mention that the city put out an informational video
Yes.
today, about 3.5
Yep, the
minutes
new video
long,
came out today.
That is outstanding. It really breaks it down in a simple form, of the impact on taxes, how things are being done, what are some of those pieces. City staff did a great job with that.
Any questions or comments for Superintendent Ray? School Board Member Gale?
Just a quick comment. I mean, I think this website's awesome, and it's a real testament to the transparency of how we got to the decision, what went into it, and I think it's a great resource for everybody. And I didn't see yet the video today, but I'm sure it's excellent. So again, I mean, just congratulations to everyone at the school department and at the city for helping to be transparent and just putting all our cards on the table on this. And great job.
Thank you, Will. I do think that one of the hard pieces about when people talk about some of this is that the process is so long, and that it wasn't like you made a decision over a 6-week period. This was 3 years that Meg and I and this group have been working on it, and there was 17 years before that. And I've even found it quite interesting over the last week looking at, I believe it was in 2017 when the council did not put a vote out. I think 17 was the year. And at that time, the city of Saco was looking at spending $21 million, or $21.5, sorry, which would have replaced Young School and renovated Fairfield. And the bond was for 30 years. So you would have had a 30-year payment where this bond is a 20-year bond, because that's what the state requires for the state construction project. And so at that point in time, you were replacing only Young School with no pre-K in it, renovating Fairfield with no pre-K in it for a total of $21.5 over 30 years. And this is a scenario where for $39 million, we address every single elementary building and pre-K that wasn't even like in the conversation. And that's a 20-year. So when you really think about 17 to 24, and that all of our challenges are going to be addressed at one time to provide equity for our students, $18 million difference. It's a really, really unique and great opportunity for us, and we'll find out our direction on June 11th.
Anyone else? School Board Member Johnston?
I would just like to say, I would reiterate everything that's been said by people here relating to this issue tonight, but I would also like to encourage people to go ahead and vote before June 11th. Sometimes people forget, something comes up. To know that those votes are already in the ballot box, I think is comforting for those of us who would really like to see people show up and vote. And it is very important that we get, what is it, Mr. Superintendent, about 900 people who actually come out?
486, I think was the number.
It was 886 or 887 is the required, I believe.
Yep.
So, in other words, we do need to get a certain number of voters to actually go and vote. So I'm just encouraging everybody to go ahead and do it early if they can, but if not, please get there on June 11th. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that now takes us to item F, and that is the first reading of the policies. Is there a motion for the policies? School Board Member Johnston?
Thank you. I move we approve the first reading of policies JIC, Student Code of Conduct, and JICA, Student Dress, and I move to strike JFCK, Student Use of Cellular Telephones and Other Electronic Devices, and also JFCK-R, Rules for the Student Use of Cellular Telephones and Other Electronic Devices.
Thank you.
Second.
Motion has been made by School Board Member Johnston, second by School Board Member Truman. Any discussion on the policies? Okay, roll call vote. School Board Member Archie?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
And School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston. Motion passes 6-0. Okay, and there is no other information tonight. There is no executive session. And is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion made by School Board Member Truman, second by School Board Preble.
That works.
All right. Roll call vote. School Board Member Archie?
Yes.
School Board Member Preble?
Yes.
School Board Member Richards?
Yes.
School Board Member Gale?
Yes.
School Board Member Truman?
Yes.
And School Board Member Johnston.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 to adjourn at 5:34. Now everyone get out and enjoy.